I'm sitting down with my boy Elroy. And can you please just tell us a little bit about your background, your history, your music?
Born and raised in California with a very musical family, and just always been inspired to be a musician more than anything, and hung out with people who were artists, DJs, or they played instruments, so I was always around it, and I always wanted to work more in making music and DJing as much as production, and beatboxing is what kind of somehow jumped me into this whole thing, because I started doing it when I was bored walking home from school, and it was in my kindergarten year that I had this huge hill to walk up, and I kept on my steps walking up this huge hill. I was like, God, this is so tedious. I wish I had a beat right now. I didn't have a Walkman, so I started making beats, and I started beatboxing, and that's how I, for some reason, fell into hanging out with DJs and then DJing. And then before I knew it, started playing drums, and then, so yeah, drums, DJs, beatboxing, and production is mostly what I do.
And you play with several different groups right now also, correct?
Yeah, I came to Chicago about 7 years ago, February of '05, to be the DJ for Liquid Soul from Chicago, and that's when I was pretty much taking all the money from shows to buy records, because I wanted to be as close to house music as possible, and Chicago is also the pumping heart of house music, so I was really excited to get here and just geek out in record stores, and then pay my rent. and then I got a residency at this place called Salute Tequila Lounge, which was kind of like the first time that I had been able to get off of a 9-to-5 job and just start, DJing. And then from there, it just kind of keep opening up new opportunities to meet different people, as an artist. And I started doing like weddings, and I've met a guy who got me into doing bar mitzvahs with him, which was completely crazy. I didn't think I would ever be in that situation, but it's just whatever kind of opened up. I just want to take that and keep going with it.
And you still play at the Tequila Lounge over there in Wicker Park, right?
I still do, yeah. Salute Tequila Lounge is in Wicker Park. It's very, very awesome environment. It's laid back, but it's also on weekends it gets pretty dancey and a lot of fun. So yeah, I'm still there, still doing that. Other than that, I'm just doing side jobs and got a few bands as well. Right now, I'm currently putting most of my work and effort into Digital Tape Machine, which involves an electronic and a rock kind of infusion, but more or less the electronic music element, not so much like a fusion type of thing. So when I first met Chris Myers a few years ago, he was living in the same house that I live in now, and we have the same mutual friends. So this is just a story of how the whole Digital Tape Machine thing kind of came together. But anyway, I played a show at the Cubby Bear where this band Trio Logic, who they play like a pretty dope hip hop, kind of like the Roots kind of stuff. Where I met their DJ at the time, who we had become good friends, and then he ended up moving out of town, so they called me and they said, we know you're good friends, we already have a good rapport, and let's see if you want to join us. And I was like, oh, that'd be great. So I played like for a few months with them, and then I got this call one morning, and it was from Chris, and he was like, I'm trying to do this one-off thing with a drummer and a DJ, and I was like, wow, dude. I was like, Chris, dude, he's calling me right now. This is fucking awesome. I've been wanting to work with him for so many years, and so we got together and started geeking out on music, and we just knew right away. We were like, oh, you have great taste in music, electronic music, in different genres, drum and bass, house, tech house, break beats, hip hop, trip hop. I mean, you name it. We both play drums, which is, one thing that kind of combined our efforts to want to do this too. Is just like we would play percussion on top of doing a drummer DJ thing, and where I would beatbox as well. So we were just utilizing all of the talents that we had to make a show, and we called it under the name Dexterous Roy. So our first show was at a live one, and then it went really well. They booked us that night for another gig the month after that, and then before he knew it, he was like, hey, I got this project that I'm doing. It's called Digital Tape Machine. I think it'd be kind of cool if you wanted to come and give your talents to the band and see where it goes. So from there, we got together. I went to a few rehearsals, then we did our first set at One Earth, which is it went really well. And Chris and I opened up as Dexterous Roy for I think our fourth show, something like that. And then I talked to Dan Rosinski, who was like the birth child, who birthed Digital Tape Machine. And I was like, man, I produce music too. It's a lot more of the like video gamey type sound. So he goes, all right, let's hear some of the stuff. And I brought a bunch of tracks in, and then one after the other, people were really feeling it. So those are the new 4 tracks that we'll be featuring on our album coming up probably in about a month.
And when is the album scheduled to come out right now?
We have a deadline right now for a month is what we're aiming for. We don't think it should take any longer than that, but yeah.
Excellent, good luck with that. And you're playing all over this summer too?
Yeah, we're playing a few festivals, Bear Creek, Whippersnap.
So anything else that you'd like to tell us personally about your work? Anything else you'd like to share? Where can we find most of your music online?
You could find, I have a SoundCloud account with a number of mixes that I do. I have a lot of different styles of house music that I prefer to play. You know, it can be hard sometimes for DJs who get so involved in one type of genre that people will expect you to stay that way all the time. So I feel comfortable with not being a one type of person, you know, DJ. Like, you know, when we play Dexterous Roy, it's everything. You know, it's drum and bass to electro, you know, and to dubstep even, you know. And I'm not really that big of a fan of dubstep. I'm not hating on anybody who does. It's something it just lacks a lot of soul, which I even in electro, there's some kind of soul there, you know. But like, so. Anyway, SoundCloud, I got a SoundCloud up. If you go to check it out, it's at www.soundcloud.com/boywonder422, and then if you put /tracks, it'll just come up with all my stuff. Most of it's downloadable. Some deep house in there, some funky house, tech house, progressive house, house.
Nice. And then the Digital Tape Machine stuff as well is all over the internet.
Yeah, we have our website is digitaltapemachine.com. And then you can check us out on Facebook. We're on Twitter, and and also check out Soundfuse as well. These guys are killing it right now, and I'm really happy to be working with them. Kind of in a partnership, you know, where we can promote each other. And
great.
Yeah, I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for sitting down and telling me your story. I appreciate it. Good luck with everything this summer.
Thanks.
Yeah, take care.
Awesome.